Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome back to Let's Play The Outer Worlds, where we start with talking to, oh, that's weird, Spencer Woolridge. So, let's go. Hello, boy.
About time you arrived. I see you haven't dressed the way I asked you to, but I suppose that was expecting too much of a non-industry lout. Expect a complaint to management. Now, unless you'd like to waste more of my time, I suggest we begin rehearsing. Ready?
What a nice guy,
You've
right?
fallen right into my trap, Captain. Oh, don't bother to fight back. You cannot hope to stop me from installing philosophism as the system's reigning ideology.
You'll never take over Halcyon, you fiend. Yes, yeah. Draw your weapon would be cool too, right? No, let's go.
How does the scenery taste? Good, I trust. Wait a moment. You're not wearing a bellhop's ID, which must mean you're not Owen's understudy. That man can't even be relied upon to find his own replacement. Oh, no, this is curious indeed. Who are you, and how did you get in here?
I'm here to investigate the murder of Halcyon Helen. I'd like to ask you a few questions. That's... No, wait, no. Okay, name's Psychic. I'm a ship captain.
And yet you found your way to my humble hotel room. Why do I feel there's more of a reason for you to be here than you let on? I think I know, you cheeky little sprat. Now, what shall I sign first? Your weapon? Your wallet? Or perhaps something, a little more personal? Undergarment signatures have been popular of late, or so I've heard.
I'm not here for an autograph. I'm here to ask you some questions. Yeah, make a route. That would be nice. Yeah, let's go with that one. How about you sign this?
I'd be delighted. Oh, damn. My pen's out of ink. I'll just get you a portrait of my face as a souvenir. I'm sure I have the prints around here somewhere. By the by, how did you get in here? The only non-staff individual cleared to enter guest rooms is supposed to be the inspector for Bellamy's murder. Oh, hello.
Do you derive some kind of pleasure from wasting people's time?
Terribly sorry, Inspector. I didn't realize it was you. Understand that I am beyond willing to comply with your search for the fiend that did Bellamy in. You know, now that I look at you, you're the perfect reflection of me, back when I starred in the Marauders' Bane. The absolute picture of justice. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer.
I hope so. I've learned a thing or two about your activities in the hotel. Yeah, okay.
Oh, have you now? Please do go on. Don't leave me in suspense.
I spoke to Burbage. He told me you upgraded him.
I did indeed. With Halcyon Helen parading her fame about, I was left without an acting partner. Burbage is no exception. His acting protocols were nothing short of a joke. So I decided to make some modifications, installing him with some of my old serial quotes as, I think, improved his range. The way he bungled about with that weapon of his hardly befitted a dissident, so I modified it as well. He's much quicker on the draw now, though he's still a machine.
I've got my eye on you.
I'm quite used to being breathlessly watched.
Okay, I'd like to ask you about the murder.
Certainly, but one quick question before we begin, if I may. How was it that Bellamy met her end?
That's, yeah, a little difficult to answer.
Oh yes, I'm sure you must be overcome with emotion. Whatever the case, I hope she didn't suffer.
What were you up at the time of the murder? Yeah.
I was meditating, of course. That's how I get into character.
Got anybody who can corroborate that?
Respectfully, Inspector, it is rather counterproductive to commune with others while meditating.
You were meditating, really?
All actors have their methods, and this has been mine ever since I met that wonderful prophet of profitability. She taught me it for my role in The Unemployed Cometh. I had to lie face down on artificially heated pavement. The director wanted our suffering to be convincing. Needless to say, being able to leave my body helped to mitigate the pain, both during the 8-hour shoot and with the second-degree burns afterwards. I owe that woman much.
This dude is really talking a lot. How long have you worked with the Prophet?
Yeah, actually, only since I've been at the Colonial. The Unemployed Cometh was shot on site. That makes it, a few weeks. I cannot recommend her services enough. If you haven't been to see her yet, you really should.
Sadly enough, we already met her, right? Okay, back to my other questions.
I'll answer whatever you wish.
Did you know Helen well?
Bellamy has been my co-star throughout the autumn of my career. I should like to think I knew her. In fact, I cannot name a single role in the last 10 years that did not involve her in some way, unless you count the uncredited silent shopkeep on Melissa's Meteoroids.
Must have been too flattering, always starring alongside a younger actress. Did you consider yourself a friend of hers? Yeah, that's good.
I'll ask you this. If you'd been the star of cinema for years, then suddenly found yourself scrounging for bit parts while a younger person stole the limelight, how would you feel? In short, the two of us weren't close. But that's not to say my dislike of her was so extreme that I tried to do anything drastic. Resenting Bellamy is one thing, but killing her is another completely. It's also beneath me.
Alright, speaking theoretically, how would you have killed the victim?
Oh, come now, Inspector, what do you take me for? I'm an old man. I neither have the time nor the willpower to kill people for fun. Besides, I have my reputation to think of.
Enough about that. Back to my other questions.
I suppose that is enough on that grim subject.
I hear you were poisoned.
Indeed. The agonizing bowel pain was most undignifying. While I've certainly had no shortage of inadequate hotel meals, this was most explicitly pronounced. I suspect poison. And who would be most likely to poison me but Chef Anwar? Oh, we've clashed almost non-stop about his slop preparation. He must have tainted my meal in retaliation.
Can you think of anyone other than the chef who would want to harm you? Why didn't you go to the clinic for your stomach pains? According to the coroner, Helen was also poisoned. Yeah, that's good.
How alarming! Whoever targeted her was certainly targeting me. I can only thank my ironclad constitution that I'm standing here before you.
Oh boy. Helen wasn't killed by the poison.
Oh, that's very good to know. Perhaps the poisoner simply meant to incapacitate us both, disrupt the product launch. I couldn't say, Inspector. I'm merely an actor.
Can you think of anyone other than the chef who would want to harm you?
None that I can think of. I treat all hotel staff equally, and with the minimum level of respect that they deserve.
That's a nice character move, man. Why didn't you go to the clinic for your stomach pains?
Is that a jibe? Could you imagine the tabloid headlines? Spencer Woolrich, Aetherwave star, spotted in gastronomic distress. Oh, unseemly hardly describes the half of it.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Then.
I've got a few questions to ask about that poisoning.
Oh, must I relive that ghastly event again? My intestines still have yet to fully recover. But I suppose we may discuss it further. Very well, then.
I'm sorry, that we already had. Who are you exactly?
I'm sure you're joking. Perhaps I'm not in my prime, but you've no doubt seen the name Spencer Woolrich on many a serial advertisement throughout your travels.
Oh, sure, you were that guy in that one. Yeah, let's go in Syria.
Come now, I'm sure I would have made more of an impression than that. Could I have really fallen so far behind the times? Did you ever see me in The Masked Marketeer? The Busker of Byzantium? What about episodes 13 and 190 of Princess of Hephaestus? And who could forget From Halcyon with Love? I was great in that movie. Even if I was starring beside a 2-ton bucket of bolts and a woman with no talent.
A 2-ton bucket of bolts.
Yes, that would be Burbage 3001. I'm sure you've heard the clomping around. It's over in the next room. It's hard for me to believe that a mechanical actor isn't some kind of joke played on us all by Odeon's director.
Alright, goodbye. Then we need to talk to the cook again, which we already did before. I just want to check something. Do we have a dialogue line here available?
Has not yet completed its grief.
No. Okay, that was a nice try, right? Absolutely. Alright to check. In my... Okay, let's then...
Aha! Always so nice to hear you, Inspector. I'll get you to your floor on the double.
No, I don't want to go to the penthouse suite. To the lobby, please.
To the lobby we go.
And then... we are quickly gonna go to him. There we are. Hello. We can even conclude that today.
Hello again. No new reservations have opened up, unfortunately, so I can't make anything for you right now. You have a look that screams, I have something to ask you about. Well, please, ask away. I have no problem with questions. Why would I?
Did you prepare all of Helen's meals?
Of course I did. I would never allow anyone else to touch the meals of so important a guest.
You sure no one else was involved?
Well, yes, I'm positive. Why?
If Helen was poisoned and no one else touched her meal, you poisoned her, right?
Oh my lord, this is the end, isn't it? My mother always warned me that the culinary world was too dangerous, but I didn't heed her warnings. Spencer Woolrich and Bellhop Owens were underfoot in the kitchen as I was preparing Helen's meal. Either one of them could have tampered with the food when I was fetching ingredients.
Alibi's a little thin here. Why should I believe anything you're saying? Why were you being so evasive about leaving Helen's food unattended? Yeah.
Well, it's a breach of professionalism, of course. Why else would I worry about it?
Know what you did, all those teacup cannons. Talk if you want to keep it between us. Okay, I know. Okay, now it makes sense.
It was just some light smuggling. Light. Is that really so wrong? All right, maybe it is. I may have taken some time to engage in a teensy bit of recreational drinking, and consequently, I may have been somewhat less than coherent after preparing Helen's meal.
Yeah, the alibi's a little thin here. Why should I believe anything that you're saying?
I understand your reluctance, but... Oh, I just remembered. The kitchen security camera. It'll prove I'm telling the truth about everything. Constable Keene has access to the security footage in her office at the spaceport. If you visit her, you can figure out what truly happened with Helen's meal.
Okay, any idea why where I might be able to find Bellhop Owens?
Yes, but not specifically. Owens often procures exotic ingredients from the creatures at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. Our guests can be rather... particular. Let's not talk about the incident with the Raptidon pheromone glands. It's always hard to say when Owens might be back. If I were you, I'd make a trek to the reserve myself. Otherwise, who knows how long you'll have to wait.
What about Spencer Woolridge doing around the kitchen? No, I am sorry, what was Spencer Woolridge doing around the kitchen?
Mr. Woolrich often finds the hotel's meals wanting. He seems to enjoy complaining in person. While I could appreciate someone with a discerning palate for once, I believe that Mr. Woolrich simply enjoys the attention he gets from us. Though don't tell him I said as much. If you wish to speak with him, Mr. Woolrich can most likely be found in his suite on the VIP guest floor. He's usually there if he's not poking around here.
Okay, that's all. We spoke to him? No? No? Right? That's all I wanted to ask about. Guess we'll see if you're telling the truth.
Thank you for your understanding, Inspector. I'm sure you'll find the true culprit before long.
I hope. And that, you guys, is already not gonna, but that brings us already to the end of this wonderful little episode. In the next one, we are gonna exit the hotel and do the next part in this quest. For now, you know it. I, as usual, really thank you for watching. If you guys actually do have enjoyed this little episode, then please give me a little thumbs up and subscribe, and hopefully I see you in, well, the next episode. Until then, have a wonderful day. Stay frosty. Bye.